Okay, what's happening, fam? LAR movement still moving. Book is entitled "Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father" at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below, as usual. Go get it. PayPal link there also. They asked me to put it up, so I put it up. Thanks everybody for support. This video is entitled "Should I Be Forgiven?" Forgiving, rather. So I get a message early this morning from a family member telling me to go see another family member who's dying. And I waited to respond. And I was like, look, I'm past the situation between me and that family member. That was a long time ago. But I'm not one to go see them. Nothing against them per se, but I don't do deathbed confessions or deathbed I'm sorry. I didn't say that part. I just told her, it's just not me, and I'm not gonna do that. Now, when I was younger, this family member stole my identity. So for years, because I didn't know much about credit, I found out years later that they stole my identity, not when they did it. I lived there for a time. I was in college. I paid rent to stay at this family member's house while I was in college, and I got kicked out of their house, honestly, because I paid them months, like 6 months at a time. So I paid like 6 months in advance, and they took the cash, and they came to me maybe about an hour later. Like, yo, this bill and this bill, dude, why don't you give me some more money? I was like, I just gave you a certain amount of cash. Like, no. So I got kicked out for that. But my mail would still go there. So while I'm in college, I'm young, and it's like, I really need a credit card. It's like, you had some mail here. I was like, okay, well, get a credit card. Like, I don't. But I didn't pay attention to it at the time that they had opened my mail. And they had opened the mail like school mail with my social security number on it. And they already knew family names and all that other stuff. So basically, some years later, I go to buy a car. What do I, I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't have these credit cards and these charges. I don't even know. And lo and behold, when I saw the address, it's like, okay. So my family tells me, we family, let it slide. So I wound up I had to pay both of those credit cards that had been maxed out years prior to me even knowing about it. But that stayed on my credit. And when I bought a car, it still affected the credit rating. And I didn't know about that at the time because of my age. So I was paying a high interest rate because of that. And when I got my home, I had worked it down for some years, I can say that. But it was still on my credit report at the time. Because I had good credit when I bought my home. I had a good credit score. But that was still there. And if it wasn't there, I probably would have got a better deal, better rate, right? But come to find out, this family member had stole numerous people's identities, and they didn't tell me this before I went to stay with them. My family that told me to stay with them actually knew of this, right? So, make a long story long and short, I got highly upset, and since I couldn't put them in jail because my family was like, we shouldn't do that to family, my first actually thought was, I'm about to go back over his house. I'm going to kick the door in, and I'm going to beat the brakes off of him. And I didn't own a gun at the time, so I couldn't do more to him. So I went over there. Ironically, no answer. So I was like, okay. Had one of the steel doors. You know, when you put the barred doors before the door, so wasn't getting in. So I was like, okay, and I just never spoke spoke to or of the person ever again. And and I'm like, and they tell me, you know, they got sick, and I'm like, okay, got nothing to say. And one of the things about it is in my particular family, for some odd reason they want me to be extra forgiving, and that's really not my personality. Like, I could let stuff go, I could move on, but if you do something to cross me, it's not that you cross me that's the problem. It's that after you cross me, you did nothing to fix it. So I know you meant to do what you did, so I don't want to hear anything. You know, I don't want to hear. I'm not a I'm sorry type of guy. Like, oh, my bad. Okay, I'll take your stupid I'm sorry, but let me see what you're gonna do. If you did all this to cross me, let's see how much you do to if you did that to burn this bridge, let's see how much you do to build the bridge back up. And normally, it's been my experience, people don't put in that effort to build that bridge after they burned it. So for me, I'm like, I'm not here for that forgiveness crap. I'm not forgiving. You know, I'm not forgiving to the extent I'm gonna come and talk to you and be cool with you. I might see you and say hi and be cordial with you, but that's about it. I'm not holding no conversations. I'm not your friend. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes, you know, my family, you know, you should be more forgiving. And I laugh because I chuckle. I'm like, well, if somebody does it to you, you're not forgiving. So what is the problem? And to a degree, I think it's for me, at times it gets insulting. So, you know, and I had you know, one of my parents almost died. And that's why I say I don't do deathbed confessions. Because when my parents almost died, one of them almost died. And I just happened, you know, it was at a time where I was actually near where they were at. So I went somewhere, because my parents live in different states. So I went somewhere to visit someplace, but they live a few hours away on a drive. So I get a call. So I basically land at the airport, get a rental car, drive to see them in the hospital. You know, deathbed confession, I'm sorry, you know, I'm changed things. You know what happened when they got out of the hospital, right? Back to the same shenanigans. And it was disheartening to one of my grandparents to see that, because they asked me to go, because I had the same energy with this other family member that I did with that parent, you know. And their mother was like, no, you got to be forgiving. And when they started to see things unfold, they was like, you know what, I get it now. And for me, it doesn't do me any service to forgive a person. I mean, when they say forgiveness is for you, like, yeah, forgiveness is for you. But I could forgive you, not forget what you did, and forget you. And I think sometimes just trying to rebuild a connection or try to make things right to make you feel better is not my cup of tea. So I'm asking, should I be forgiven? My answer to me is hell no. But I'm not into, if you burnt the bridge, you build it. I'm not about to come to see you or come to deal with you after you did me dirty. Because, you know, some people play this stupid fictitious power dynamic. If I get you to make the first move, I'm in this position. And I'm not of that kind of mind. If I get up out of my seat to come see you and you think you sitting at a power position, my first thought is to knock you the fuck out of your chair. Because I didn't come to play a game. You know what I'm saying? So, should I be forgiven? I don't think so. You know, I hope the best. I'm not gonna lie. I hope, you know, I know my family's probably gonna be in town for the funeral, and I'm like, I ain't going. Dog, y'all don't want me to go. Trust me, cause I ain't gonna have nothing good to say. And I think that's petty to go to somebody's funeral and cuss them the fuck out. You know, so But I will say this: one of the biggest reason I say what I'm saying is because it's not necessarily the people; it's their support system of let's all make it right. I'm not trying to hear that shit. If you don't get around that person and make them make it right, don't come around a person and say be the bigger person. At least not me. You know, I got Napoleon complex. I'm not gonna be the big person. But I'm just saying, man. Like, share, subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Peace.